Gateau Russe, Russian cake. Just one bite and you will understand what French pastry means. I am Bruno Albouze. Welcome to The Real Deal. First, I am going to process my almond meal, powdered sugar, and flour. This recipe is a cross between dacquoise and succès and a cousin of macaron. I'm gonna add some milk in my temps pourtant almond and sugar mixture. It will make the final texture more fondant. Meanwhile, I am going to make the meringue and beat my egg whites with a dash of cream of tartar, adding the sugar gradually until firm peaks. Gorgeous. Now I am going to fold about a third into my temps pourtant mixture. At this juncture, it doesn't matter if it deflates. Though, the next step, you want to be gentle incorporating the remaining meringue. Make sure that your oven is on before you begin. Spread the mixture onto a lightly oiled silicone mat into a ½ inch, about 1 centimeter thick sheet. By the way, I like to flip my baking tray just to have more control. This recipe yields one 13 by 18 inch and one 9.5 by 13 inch baking trays, which will give you an 8 by 11 inch finished and trimmed cake, good for 16 portions. You know, the Gateau Russe is a rich dessert. It's so satisfying that you don't need a big slice. Bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 Celsius for about 12 minutes and cool. Next in the agenda, praliné. Let me show you the traditional method, by the way. I'm gonna cook the sugar and water to 244 Fahrenheit, 118 Celsius. But you know what? You don't have to check the temperature. Just let it boil for 5 minutes and toss your toasted almonds and hazelnut. Soon the syrup is going to crystallize. Continue to cook on high until complete caramelization. Towards the end, you can always transfer caramelized nuts into a clean and hot saucepan. In this way, you are going to get rid of any excess crystallized sugar and unwanted caramel. Let cool on silicone mat and save some caramelized almonds for garnishing. Let your nuts cool down and then you can process to paste. Gateau Russe, Russian cake, was created in 1925 by a pastry chef from Oloron-Sainte-Marie in southern France. No kidding, the original recipe is kept secret since. This cake is based on almonds, which were imported from Crimea, the best at the time, and the icing sugar mimicked the snow in Russia. To enhance the texture and lighten my buttercream filling, I'm gonna make some Italian meringue. Very easy. Beat your egg whites on high and pour the hot syrup on thin stream. The syrup should be cooked to 248 Fahrenheit, 120 Celsius, and beat until it cools down. The good news is that Italian meringue can be stored in a freezer for weeks. Look at that! Beautiful. Exceptional. Next, buttercream. Using the yolks we saved earlier. Exactly the same technique. Put the hot syrup in the egg yolks and beat until cool. It's at room temperature. I'm gonna add my softened butter. 82% of fat. The best butter gives you the best results. Beat on high until fluffy. Now I'm going to add my praliné. just to taste. Then the frozen Italian meringue. Now the magic happens. Look at that. Well, I tend to believe now, and because I lost consciousness, remember when I tasted it, that this recipe is as good as the original. Though I have to admit that what gives the Gateau Russe Russian cake such a distinctive aroma and flavor is the use of the almonds grown in Provence, southern France. Simply the best. For the montage of the cake, which by the way can be built using 2 almond biscuits or 3, just like you would build a millefeuille, the well-known Napoleon, though the praliné filling layers must match the thickness of the biscuit, yet the finished Gateau Russe should not be taller than opera cake, just about an inch, 2.5 centimeters. Yet the finest pastries are delicate, well-balanced, beautiful and reasonably portioned. Outrageous food? Not allowed in my kitchen. You know me. Top cake with a very thin layer of praliné filling, just like a glaze. Freeze for about an hour and trim. Gateau Russe can be served as is or cut into bars. Well, are there any secrets left for us to discover about this cake? Not anymore. Now you are on your own. I hope, guys, you have enjoyed this Gateau Russe Russian cake episode. To get the full recipe and measurements, go to brunoskitchen.net. Please subscribe, like my page on Facebook, and follow me on Instagram at Bruno Albouze. Thank you again for your support. Love you guys. Bon appétit and see you next time.